Well, he just came right out with it. Donald Trump says ISIS is dreaming of a Hillary Clinton presidency. Watch this.
ISIS is dreaming. ISIS is dreaming of her becoming president, that I can tell you.
I guess he repeated the way I introduced the sound. ISIS is dreaming of a Hillary Clinton presidency. Look who's here, Fox News contributor and foreign policy and security analyst. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Gillian Turner, that's definitely correct.
You said it better. I prefer your version.
The accent, that's what it is. Now, Donald Trump says ISIS is dreaming of a Hillary Clinton presidency. What do you make of that?
Presumably what he means is they're dreaming of her being president because she's going to be soft on that.
Exactly.
She's not going to really...
Do you agree with that?
I don't, actually.
Why not?
So my take on her foreign policy, particularly on fighting terrorism globally, is that she's actually much more hawkish than President Obama. She was one of the people that night in the White House Situation Room. There's those famous photos of when we captured and killed Osama bin Laden. She was the one who really advocated for the raid when the president himself was equivocating.
Is that true?
He's spoken
I did
about,
not know that. Okay.
Yeah, he has spoken about having to make that final decision and which folks were pro and which folks were against, because they weren't 100% sure that he was actually in that compound in Abbottabad.
Okay.
Anyway, so she has a history of policy proposals on these issues that's much more hawkish than him. I feel good about her as a counterterrorism president. Obviously, a lot of people don't.
Okay.
That's their prerogative.
Let me turn this the other way around. Well, surely it would be true to say that the Russians and ISIS and anybody else who is our rival and enemy, they do not want to see a Donald Trump presidency, because they don't know what he's going to do.
Well, they don't know what he's going to do, but I think it's also fair to say that he's going to do something. He's going to be very aggressive when it comes to fighting terrorism. From day one of his campaign, he said this is our national security #1 priority is ISIS, and I think he was right to do that. He hasn't put forward a plan, but he's made it very clear where his intentions are. And so I think that from that perspective, of course, they don't want Donald Trump to be the president. We might have a whole new ground war in new countries in the Middle East.
You're involved in this on a day-to-day basis. That's what you do. Who do you think would be toughest on terror?
Well, if toughest in terms of, there's not to equivocate too much, but if we're talking about using military force, Hillary Clinton's already taken that option off the table, right? She's already said, committed to not increasing troops on the ground in Iraq or Syria, whereas Donald Trump has kept that option very much on the table.
How about domestic surveillance of potential terrorists? How about immigration, not allowing in potential terrorists and extreme vetting? Is Trump stronger there than Hillary?
Well, yes, Trump comes out much more forcefully on these issues, but my personal take on it is that he's veered too far off base in terms of proposing to temporarily ban all Muslims, back in the day before he had clarified what he meant. Those kinds of things I think are way off the mark, but he's definitely tougher on those.
All right, Gillian, thank you very much for joining us. We always appreciate it.
Stuart.
Thanks very much. All right.